Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Altcoin Buzz Trading. I'm Randy. Today we're going to be talking about this little crypto called Bitcoin, Enjin and Unifi protocol. So let's get right to it. BTC right now not painting a pretty picture for us. We've been unable really to make any kind of a rally, or at least a sustained rally. We do have a pretty good level of resistance right across here, the 26,137 line, and we had one here earlier, actually, at the 27,000 level. Had the pop up, came down, found support, came back up right to that level, can't get through it, and now we're just kind of living lower. BTC is looking like it's just waiting to break to the downside, and maybe that's what's going to happen, is we're just going to break to the downside. Time frame is really up to Bitcoin, could catch some of us off guard, but a move down kind of does look imminent. I'm just going to say it. But at the same time, I'll be honest with you, I'm seeing quite a few bullish pops in the market. I'm seeing some small divergences across the market. Not that divergences really mean a whole lot without price action backing them up, but that's what I'm noticing. So Bitcoin does lead all of them. Bitcoin also has the capability of wiping out all of these divergences and all of these bullish moves as things kind of roll over here. So we'll see if Bitcoin's going to roll over. It kind of looks like it is, but things can reverse very quickly. So keep that in mind. And I do have a couple of bullish plays for you today, some potential ones. I did notice that our ICP trade from yesterday got stopped out. That wasn't looking very good late yesterday, and we finally got stopped out today. But let's take a look at UNFI, which is UNFI, the ticker. This thing has actually been in an uptrend, and sometimes when you have something that's been in an uptrend like this, and we've seen some coins here on this channel that do this, they're good short candidates, right? Like you're waiting for them to roll over. This one you can actually draw a curl all the way across this thing right there, right? And kind of curl up, wait for the breakout to the downside. But so far we haven't been able to do that. We've actually stopped up here, formed a little base right at about the $10 level. So let's go ahead and draw a trading plan for this going up. So going up, we'll put our long signal here at $10. Now our stop right now is way too wide down here. You see this red line here in percentage at 22 to 23%. That's way too risky. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to find an alternative stopping point. And a couple ways to do that. One is to try to find a higher volume candle. So we could do this one and bring our stop here to 14%, which is around 852. That's still super wide, but this coin has been super volatile. Very volatile, up 229% over the past month or so. It's just been on this large run. And for targets, I'm actually going to target this high. Okay, so my target's a 34% profit target, 2.3 risk-reward ratio. I will say I really don't like taking a trade that has a 14% stop on it. And I'm talking about this just to kind of walk you through this in case you see this trade or something similar to this. I do like to keep stop losses as tight as I possibly can. So we're going to move it again. We're going to go above that point. Now we get into more risky territory. I'll move this over a little bit. We're going to move into more risky territory. We're going to use this little red point, which isn't going to be a lot better, but it brings it to 12.5%. And even that's a little bit too risky. But I'm not sure I can do a lot better, to be quite frank with you. Just the way the chart is laid out. And this is a good lesson for placing your stops on the chart rather than seeing the stop loss you'd like to see. So if this 12.5% stop loss breaks your rule on stop losses, you don't take this trade. Okay? So look, I like to use, I've had more than this platform. I've had another crypto platform. And just for me personally, I always want to make sure that you know the wise thing to do. I don't just want to throw a trade in your face and say, take it. This may not be a wise trade. This may work out amazingly and you never even come close to hitting that 12.5% stop loss. But trading doesn't work like that. You have to respect this stop loss percentage. Okay? Now, another way you can handle this, if you do like the setup and the trade, you like the fact it's been in a long uptrend, you like the fact the volume's pretty good, you think we're going to get a last blast up in this before we hit this larger resistance, which I never showed you, up here, at the 1342 next to all these highs. If you like that setup and you still want to take the trade, what you can do is cut your position size in half. And eventually what you've done is turn this 12.5% risk into a, how does math work? 3.25, 6.25% risk, which is still fairly large, but really not bad. And that's how you can manage this, is by taking a little bit less risk mathematically. Okay, so that's how you would manage this trade. But overall, I think it's a decent setup, even though the stops are pretty wide. I'm still not super happy with that. If you're going to go, I would probably try to keep my stop down here at about 8.3, give or take, underneath this candle here. And I'd take a really small position size. But this is not a bad one. But the reason I showed it to you guys is I do think it sets up a little bit how to handle these weird stop trades. But 2 risk reward ratio, not too bad. I like 3 better, but not the end of the world. Okay, and then the next one up is ENJ. So this thing came through very quickly today. This is an interesting trade. On the daily time frame, we have a big spike up. This may not work out. You know, as I said, Bitcoin is very, very bearish. But in my newsletter today, I have like 10 bullish patterns, which I was astonished to have. I didn't think I'd have that many. So 2788. Here is the alert level. This is a smaller cup and handle. I'm on my 2-hour time frame here. I'm actually going to go down to the 15-minute just to get more bars on the chart, make things look a little bit, make a little more sense. So here's the 15-minute time frame, and this is kind of the anatomy of a cup and handle pattern, right? So you come up, you have a high, you pull back, and volume isn't too bad on the pullback. Your higher volume is this big spike down, which is expected, and then you curl back up with some good volume pops in here, right? Then you have a high volume pop giving you your resistance point. And then this is all your handle after that. Wherever this goes, this is your handle right there. And then hopefully we can break through the 2788. Let's take a look at an actual trading plan, which I haven't lined up yet. Let me zoom back out of this. Go back to the, I guess I'll go to the 1-hour time frames. Keep a few more bars on the chart. My volume aggregation tool is showing good progress here, pretty much on all time frames. And so let's do this. We will take a measured move perspective, but we're not going to be greedy today. We're just going to go the depth of the cup. And we're going to put that right there. And I do think we may have seen the low for this. Let me go back to the 15-minute time frame. We've seen some live analysis, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's always good to see how people think about these things. Okay, so that's not bad. Kind of a popish, this is called a hammer candle. Looks like a hammer if you look at it. It's like, so kind of a hammer candle right there. That definitely could be the low. So, we're going to use the low that's already been established. And we're going to lay this out. Let's pick our long trade tool entry at the 2788. I'll show you an alternative entry here in a moment too. An alternative entry usually is a lower entry. And those can be good and bad if you don't know how to use them right. This is going to move the whole thing. Oh, no, it's not. That's very cool. Okay. So there, and then we're going to put it just under that. So that's a 5% stop, which is a little wide, but not too bad. 2.24 risk-reward ratio. So this one, like I said, I like the 3%. The 3 risk reward ratio a little bit better. This one's not too bad though. And just for a day trade, essentially, I would assume if this breaks today, it'll close today. Okay. Now, one thing you don't want to do with this is you don't want to start this on a 2-hour time frame, 1-hour time frame, 30-minute time frame, and then as it gets to your target, start holding it and then looking at it on a daily time frame, saying, "Oh, it's going to go up to $7." Very rarely does that happen. I have seen it happen, but not in this market environment. So this is one you would want to heed. Now, your alternative entry may be a little bit nicer. So let's go ahead and redraw this. Actually, kind of didn't mean to draw the trend line, but we'll grab it anyways. Let's give it to the closes. Okay, so this is going to drop our entry down there and give us a 3.87. Now, it's interesting sometimes how just that little adjustment can make the risk-reward ratio move dramatically. The reason that is because now that we have the profit target and the stop loss identified, you're moving within this fixed range, and anything you move, it almost doubles the percentage. If you go down, you're reducing your risk and increasing your gain. So let's say this was a much larger trade and you moved it down by 1%. it would move that risk reward ratio by 2%, because you're reducing 1% risk and grabbing 1% gain, because those top and bottom boundaries are fixed, right? So keep that in mind. So this is an alternative entry. If you want to try to buy it on some kind of a dip, like we're seeing a dip right now, that's something you can do, but I would leave that for more advanced traders after you have a few trades in your belt. But overall, this isn't a bad setup. The point is to take as small a risk as you can. And, I think this is a pretty good entry point. But again, you're taking that full 3.69% risk on if you do that. If you wait for the 2788 entry point, not that there's no risk, but you're trying to get through that resistance, which is a traditional entry point for a cup and handle. All right, so that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for joining me down below. I'd like to ask you guys a question, if you wouldn't mind answering down below in the comments. Are you a trader? Do you use fundamental analysis? What do you come to this channel for? I'd be interested to know, so I can try to cater some of my content on this channel to things that would be valuable to you. So just let me know. No strings attached. Don't even hit the like button. Just leave the comment. That's fine with me. But either way, I'd be grateful if you were to just give some feedback so I can give you some better information. And have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow on Altcoin Buzz Trading.